Hey guys, welcome back again to another video. If it is your first time of coming across my channel, my name is Becca. I am an overseas nurse. I'm from Ghana originally, and I'm currently living in England. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of living in a shared accommodation. So if you all guys are just wondering what a shared accommodation is, it's like living with other people within the same building where you have your individual or respective bedrooms, but you share the common areas like the kitchen, the lounge, and sometimes the washroom or the shower room or the toilets and baths. Some of these shared accommodations have what we call the ensuite. So you'll be lucky to have your bedroom with your toilet and bath built in, and then you can share your kitchen and your lounge or your living room or your garden or your other areas with other members of the house. And this is a follow-up video after I shared an accommodation or a shared house video here in England, just to explain what happens in a shared house and some of the things you have to expect if you are living in a shared house. And I'm explaining this because most of us that come from overseas, we don't know what a shared house is. Because like for instance, for me, where I come from in Ghana, it's either you live in your own house or you live in a rented house where you live on your own. So we don't have something like a big house where you share things like this. Those things are classified as hostels or student accommodation. But here you find professionals, you find well-to-do people, you find matured people who are living in a shared house just to cut down bills, especially if you are living in a high-cost area. And most of the times when you are coming over from overseas, you don't have so much power over where you want to work. So if you had been given a high-cost area, you can say you don't like it, but most of the times you are in a hurry to move to the UK, so you don't have the time to, be choosy. So you just accept the offer that you had. And later on when you come, you have known the system, you can choose wherever you want to move to. So I'll be using my case as a vivid example to tell you about a shared house. I came to the UK and for a solid 11 months, I lived with other people in a house. So the first one was the hospital's accommodation where I was given. I lived in the hospital's accommodation for 3 months. We were all professionals and we're all working for the trust. After that, I decided to move out of the hospital's accommodation because the 3 months period they gave us elapsed. And I started looking for a 1-bedroom flat because I wanted to live on my own. I wanted to be independent as I was used to back home. But when I started to search online for a 1-bedroom flat, the least I could find was £650 per month. And mind you, let me explain this. I did a video where I was talking about the rent in the UK, and most of you were asking me whether the monies I was mentioning was for a year. Here we pay bills per month or per week. We don't pay bills per year. So every amount of money I'm going to be mentioning in this video is per month. The first apartment I found, which was a 1-bedroom flat, was 650. That was the cheapest I found. All the others I found were 750, 800, 700 for a 1-bedroom flat, and that was just for the flat. And the flat came unfurnished, so there was no furniture, there was no bed, there was no nothing. It was just the flat empty. So you were going to buy your bed, your wardrobes, your everything, your chest drawer, your fridge, freezer, and everything to furnish the flat. Your washing machine and all that you can think of. Apart from that, you were going to be paying your council tax, which I know it varies from the area you live in. The council tax is for things like your bin, when the council comes to take your bin and keeping the environment clean, the street light. That is what is embedded in the council tax. Apart from that, you're going to be paying your bills, which includes electricity or gas and your water bill. All of these things are not factored in the bill. So if I was going to be factoring all these things in the bill, I'm going to be looking somewhere around £900 to £950 per month as an individual person. As a business-minded girl that I was, I saw this was not a good business idea. To be on an NHS salary of £1,005 per month after tax deduction and rent a room with bills of 900 to 950 pounds per month, how much would I have left? Even if you are in the care home and you are earning 3,000 pounds and you are living alone, renting this amount of renting this house at that amount was too much. So I decided to look at other alternatives. Initially, we tried to pair, which is another way of sharing. So you can come together as a group or as friends. You rent the whole house and then you share your bills and everything per month and then you pay. But in my case, I wasn't finding people that I wanted to pair with because most of them were already planning to bring their families. I wasn't ready to bring my family at that time. So I was going to be living alone. It means I had to look for a more like cheaper kind of accommodation. So I went online and that was where I found Spare Room. So I looked through Spare Room and then I went to view some houses, which I am showing. This particular video was when I was going for my house hunt. I looked at rooms and luckily for me, the room I had, which is the house I recently shared, was a 6-bedroom mansion or mansionette, whatever you want to call it. It was a very huge house. It was a 6-bedroom house. It already had 5 occupants, which were all male occupants. There were 4 English guys and 1 French guy, and 1 room was vacant. 3 of the rooms in the house were already en suite. So they already had their toilet and bath. And the other 3 were not en suite. So the one I had was not en suite. But we had 2 separate shower rooms. So the 2 guys decided to come together and use one shower room, and then they left the other one for me because I was a female and they didn't want to, that kind of thing. So I was lucky I had my own shower room, which was separate from the guys, which was also separated from my room. I had a sizable storage space in the kitchen. I had space, and because they were guys, they were not cooking that much, so I had more chance to be cooking, especially when I'm doing my meal preps for the week and I'm cooking for longer hours. They gave me that kind of respect and I was using the kitchen. I was paying almost 500 pounds per month, including all bills. So it included council tax, electricity and gas, everything you can think of. Aside of that money, I wasn't paying any other thing again. And I had peace of mind, okay? Because I did this, I was able to save more money. Living in a shared house makes you able to save more money. If you are going to be living in a high cost area where you don't have much options, you shouldn't feel shy or think that, oh, I'm going to be living in a shared house with people. You have to be an easygoing person. Once you're an easygoing person, every other thing will fall in place. Sometimes if you are lucky and your housemates are lively, you have some kind of social life. If they are quiet and you are lucky to have a quiet house, you have some kind of quietness. It helps you also to meet people, to share ideas. So this first house that I lived in with this English guys and 1 French guy, they were very nice. They taught me a lot of things. We usually interact, not often, but whenever we meet in the common areas, we usually share ideas, interact. They learned from me, I learned from them. It's a way of, socializing, getting to know your way around in a new country, in a new environment, and also saving you your money. Disadvantages of living in a shared house. My second shared house I lived in was with, I don't want to mention any nationality, but it was with also guys. There were 3 guys and I was the only girl. It was a 4-bedroom house. We had just 1 toilet and bath. We were all sharing, which was a bad idea for me, but I didn't have an option. I was searching for houses, and obviously that house was a temporary apartment, so I wasn't really bothered. They were not tidy. They were not neat at all. And I was struggling. I had to be writing notices everywhere. Like, I was writing notices everywhere. I was stepping on people's toes. They were stepping on my toes because they would not keep the common areas tidy. And we were not having cleaners that were coming to clean. In my first house, we had cleaners. I forgot to mention that. In my first house, we had cleaners that were coming in to clean every Monday. So it was paid for by the house manager or by the landlord. And the landlord or the house manager was making sure that these cleaners were coming every Monday to clean the common areas, the walkways, the toilets and baths, and every place. If you wanted them to clean your room, you can pay something extra for them to clean your room. They were just cleaning the common areas. In my second house, the landlord didn't care. So he wasn't bringing anybody to clean any place. We had to strategize and clean ourselves. But because none of us had time due to work schedules and busy schedules and all that, most of these common areas were not kept clean. And instead of somebody cleaning after they have used, so let's say somebody goes to the bathroom and supposed to clean as after they've used the place, it wasn't happening. So it was like a whole lot of issues. I lived in the house for just 2 months and I had to find my way out. And I decided since then, I'm not going to live in a shared house again. Okay, so living in a shared house, yeah, has some pros and cons. It makes you also plan before you move onto your own, or before you move out to be on your own. It makes you save money. It gives you the time to plan ahead, to become more settled, to become more financially stable. You don't have to be always thinking about money and all that before you can either bring your family and decide to move out and be on your own, rent a 2-3 bedroom flat and be with your family. Now, the advice I want to give to you is that everything happens with time. Migration is hard. Living in a new country is hard. Living in a high cost area is hard. Things are generally hard, but trust me, by 6 months to a year, everything begins to make sense. You would have become more settled. You would have been making more money. You would have been living an independent life. You can afford the basic things you want to afford. Everything happens with time. It's a process. So trust the process, work hard, live within your means, live a disciplined and diligent life. Save your coins. Save your coins, so that in future you can invest and enjoy your life together with your family. I wish you all the very best in your transition. And until we meet again in my next video, it's bye for now. Adios.